abundance is my birthright. Wow.
Abundance is my birthright.
Here, guys. Somebody might be from Niagara Falls or something about a waterfall. There's a cleansing going on.
There's a cleansing going on. So this is Maggie's got the tea. She's got a beautiful voice. She's also a singer. This reading is called There is a League of Angels Protecting You from Psychic Attacks and Envy. Windfall of Money. I love affirmational readings. They're absolutely wonderful. This is Maggie, M-A-J-I, got the T, with just the letter T, LLC. Really cool. Okay? Now, let's see. Who are we doing first? I know it's Aquarius, but then who's second? April 10th. So first we've got February, isn't it 9th? February 9th. Aquarius. I am surrounded by Aquarius and Pisces. My ex was an Aquarius, beginning of February. My current beau is February toward the end of the month, like literally one day sooner and he would have been an Aquarius. So he has got a lot of Aquarius in his chart too. And I am a wild fire sign. And I keep getting air, which fuels fire. You know? It's like, what a wild combination, air and fire. The water helps. Water signs with fire, but, you know, a little air is good. Instead of them putting you out completely with just 100% water energy, there's a little air in there too. So that's where I'm at right now. We'll see how that goes. It doesn't matter who you are. If you have been with me in a relationship, you will know, like a romantic relationship, you will know that I am constantly threatening to leave you. I can't help it. I can't help it. It's just my nature. It's who I am. So I'm always one of those women who's like, you don't like it? Go. Leave. Do you want me to help you with your profile? Do you want me to help rewrite it so that you actually attract good ladies? You need a better picture. Get to stepping. There's somebody else that would love to hang out with me for a while. You know, whether that's a reason, a season, or a lifetime. When you attach to a relationship instead of to the lesson, right? You start trying to force people to be lifetimes, which end up turning them into reasons, which is a more short-term relationship, right? It's like a butterfly, and it flutters around in front of you. And then you put out your hand and it lands on you. Or you don't even put out your hand, it just lands on you. Now, if you go and grab it and catch it and squeeze it, I want it, it's mine, you're going to kill it. And you're going to take away from its beauty. Your relationship is your butterfly, not the other person, the relationship itself. So if you hold on to that relationship like a butterfly, like you're not supposed to hold a butterfly, you're going to kill it. If you let it go and go, okay, well, I'm delighted you're hanging out with me. Thanks for landing on me. You can stay as long as you'd like. Let me see if I can find you some water and some fruit. You know, you look tired and hot. Let's find you some shade. You know, when I was at the Grand Canyon, there was a butterfly, and it was going to die from dehydration. One of the park rangers was doing a little tour and told me what was going on. Said that butterfly is dehydrated. So I went and grabbed my water bottle. I put water in the cap. I poured water on the ground. I moved the butterfly over to the shade. Put him in the shade. I put some flowers nearby. Right? That's what relationships are. Sometimes we catch each other when we're doing really well and we're fluttering around. And sometimes we catch each other when we're dehydrated and we're about to die. And we need help getting back up to a place where we can fly again. That's what a relationship is supposed to be. Now, as long as you guys are working at that, right? At feeding one another with love energy, you're going to be surrounded by butterflies. You're going to be surrounded by good relationships with all sorts of different kinds of people. Not romantic, just relationships. You know? I was thinking, about. I know this is an Aquarius reading. Someone will have to stamp mark when the reading begins. Stephanie, do you want to do that? Can I petition you to put when the actual reading begins? Okay. I've decided to do the signs, the readings for the signs, in my own weird, into the mystic ash sort of way. Which is, let's figure out what demons are surrounding you and what ghosts are nearby, and if you've got any angels on your side, and see if we can't get some messages or some guidance on how to heal this shit and propel you into a life of love and happiness and peace and joy. Happiness is awesome. Joy is deep. So we're going to start with Aquarius, and then we're going to do, what's April 10th? Aries? Ooh. So we're going to do Aquarius, then we're going to do Aries for Melissa. Thank you, Melissa, for petitioning for this reading, the next one anyway. This reading was petitioned by Stephanie. Everyone thank Stephanie. I think that a lot of us are born around similar times, like we're batches of energy, right? Batches of energy sometimes happen around the same time. They have the same kind of spiritual, energetic imprint, right? You want to hear something wild? What do you think about this? Okay, here's an idea for you. Throw it out into the world of science. What if we tested the idea of energy in terms of what kind of energy it is? Is there a way to test that? Because think about it. Like, you've got really traumatic situations where a load of people die at the same time. Or maybe like plants and animals and people all die at the same time. Like, remember Pompeii? That was mentioned recently as a past life scenario. Now, let's say you die in Pompeii with all your neighbors and friends and whatever. You all die at the same time. That energy has left the building at the same time. Right? Now, to some degree, you're very similar energies, but you're also different energies because you're different people, right? You're different creatures, you're different formations. And you all get jumbly-bumbly together. Kind of like the Einstein experiment where people ended up coming back in the floorboards and the walls and shit because the particles were broken down and put them back together, but there was no way to contain where the particles landed and how they connected to each other. Like, if you do this, you can't fucking move. But then if your space moves around you and you don't have control of that, you would literally become part of the boat or some crazy shit. That was the Einstein. It was an actual, like, a U.S. Marine ship that they practiced on. over on the East Coast somewhere. There's documentaries on it. You can look it up. It's online. There's pictures and videos and shit. It's disturbing. Now, that's what happens when you play with God energy and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Now, what if all these people in Pompeii, when they died together, they connected with each other in a certain way? And bits of the energy from one another meld with you, right? And then your more dense energy pockets resurface. Now, do they resurface right where they're at? I don't know. Maybe the wind moves you and you end up in Timbuktu getting birthed and live, living and married and whatever, and in a whole nother area. I don't know how it works. Your guess is as good as mine. But I'm totally down to guess. So, air energy, Aquarius, relationships, who we are as people, how we help one another heal through the energy process. Right? Now let's say, what if an energy, someone you know or something you know passes away nearby you or is connected to you, and the energy connection is so strong that it's like magnetized to you. Now, if that energy doesn't transform itself and it just chooses to stick around, then it's attached to you, which means you get all that knowledge, you get all that experience, you get all of that energy. So when we say your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your demons, well, what is a demon? Maybe a demon is attached to a location where the traumatic things happened. Maybe it's attached to a person because it is connected to that type of energy. Well, I was a murderer and this is a victim mentality kind of person. I'm going to attach to them because that's what my dynamic was in life. Now, until there's a pattern interrupt there, which is why we use sage and Palo Santo. This is why we light candles and we use our intentions, because we're transforming that energy from nasty negative into how do we solve this to heal everyone. Now, if you're listening to the demons, they'll send you down the dark hole. And then you'll just end up even more fucked than you started. If you're listening to your ancestors, you have to remember that they're coming from their own places of fear and learning and growth, right? So if they were wildly ambitious in life, then that ambition is going to translate to you in the messages that they give you. Because that's their energy, that's what they're projecting. And what are angels? I have a question. If you had the possibility in death to stick around and try and help people, if you already, okay, have you ever, there's a book I want you to buy. It's called Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach. He also wrote another book that I love called Illusions. He wrote several books that I love. I love the Ferret Chronicles as well. But you need to buy Jonathan Livingston Seagull. It's a small book. Richard Bach. B-A-C-H. It's about this seagull who's different from the rest. And he starts going off and practicing whoop-de-whoops and twirly bits or whatever, and everybody else is like, what the fuck are you doing? Just fish and go home. What are you doing? And it made the elders so uncomfortable and confused that they ostracized this seagull, Jonathan Livingston, the seagull. They ostracized him and said, you know, you can't hang out here. You cause too much of a ruckus. We don't understand you. So he goes off and he elevates, and he actually goes to other dimensions and like elevates further. Like he gets really powerful. and from his own choice place, like his own place of choice, which is why God gives you choice, option, right? You could stay in heaven, or you could come back down to earth and help other people. You could help other seagulls who are struggling the way that you used to, and then elevate them. So what's an angel? Well, I view angels like Jonathan Livingston, the seagull, who has elevated and is at God's right hand or left hand or whatever, wherever they're watching God's back. You want to call it God, you want to call it the divine energy, you want to call it, I don't care. Call it whatever you want. Allah, Yahweh, whatever. You think God is like so basic that he had to pick a religion? You think that your religion has got it straight? God is so much bigger than all of that. There's messages in all these cultures and all these religions that pertain to our God. You think he's not so great that he went around the world and helped all sorts of people? Wouldn't you if you were God? If you created everything and everybody, wouldn't you be going around making sure everything's okay? Even the lowly ants, even the cockroaches. Those suckers can survive a nuclear ball out. Those things are crazy. God created that. Wild. Right? So this is why I don't subject myself to one religion. This is why I open up to every form of agape love that is out there. Agape love, not sexual love, okay? It's a very potent, specific kind of love. I'm talking about agape love, which is love for everything and everyone and all of it. So what are your angels? What are your ancestors? And what are your demons doing with you? And are you listening? And do you know how to tell the difference between the three? Right? Let's see. What time is it? 17:50. We'll say 18 minutes in. We start the reading. And we start with the lowest, densest energy, which is the demon energy. Let's figure out what's attached to you. Aquarius. And how do we recognize what's attached to us so that we don't listen to it? The beast grows, is the beast that is fed. Let's feed our angels. Let's heal our ancestors. And let's, kick our demons in the patooties, because clearly they're energies that have not learned a lesson yet, and they're stuck here. So some ethereal energy helps us, and sometimes we help ethereal energy. Okay? We're like a middleman conduit. Let me accept help from my angels. Let's see if I can help heal my ancestral line. And then let's see, is there a way to heal this demonic energy? Or does it need to be pointed out, casted out, and forced into a waiting place until they're willing to make amends? Or able to make amends? If you're watching my channel, you're a healer. I don't attract basic people. They don't like me because my frequency is different. So if you cannot hang with the different frequency, you usually don't hang. So you're a healer if you're here, and if you think you're not a healer, then you need to re-examine that. And you need to get to work. Whoa. That one didn't want to come out. I'm using the wrong deck. Why is the ghost deck inside the demon deck? That's weird. I think I know what this means, but I need to get a clarifier. I think my demon deck is inside my ghost deck. Yeah. That's weird. That's weird. Are one of your ancestors or the ghosts around you, is that like masquerading as demon energy? Like it's not really demon energy, it's just it's somebody else's demon energy that's attached to you? Oh, yes. Seven of Pentacles and the Lovers. Teaches arts, sciences, and rhetoric. Restores lost honors and dignities. Takes honor and dignity from others. The Lovers. Causes women to love men and brings them together in love. Can make women barren. If you have any of those struggles, understand that these are your ancestors' demons that have been attached to you now. One of your relatives, I think maybe from medieval times even, maybe they were a teacher. They were in a position of power and they abused it either way. You know, takes honor and dignity from others. Restores lost honors and dignities. So maybe through you, if you can help master this in this lifetime, you can help them move on. I keep looking at can make women barren. Takes honor and dignity from others. I feel like your family line has been punished for a minute now. And this residual energy hasn't been broken up and fueled to other things. Okay, you know, like taking the putrid and decaying fruit and veg and egg shells and coffee grounds and all this shit. Taking all that, crumpling it up, turning it into compost, and using it to plant more flowers and change the energy for your family line. In the past, none of your ancestors have figured out how to transform this, putrid mess into something beautiful and bright. Now it's your turn, Aquarius. You have received all the same challenges as your ancestors have had. Your decision now is, do I play it the same way and continue this cycle? And allow this demonic energy to be passed from one generation to another? Or do I say, enough is enough, I'm taking our power back. Just because they responded poorly doesn't mean I'm going to, right? I'm going to be the bigger person here and I'm going to change this cycle. I'm not going to allow the pain to destroy me or my relationship with others. I'm not going to use it as an excuse to control other things and other people because I feel out of control in my own space. I'm going to use my power for good. I'm not going to let this energy pass over down to the next line or into my next lifetime or into my next energy field or the energy field of those I care about dearly. It's like you have an Ace of Swords in reverse from your ancestors. Here's your new beginning. It's shit. Congratulations. You have to fix it. Sorry. Bye. It's like someone went and shat on the floor and then like gave you the key to the bathroom and said, oh, I left you a gift there. I hope you figure it out. Oh my god. Three of Wands procures the love of a woman. That's the second time we've heard this. Procures the love of a woman. Gets a woman to fall in love with a man. Somebody came and tried to get you to fall in love with them. Maybe they succeeded. But the relationship was not real in the sense that you were not given all the information. And you're not given all the facts. Now you could condemn this person and destroy their honor, or you could figure out how to help them heal from this and get them to stop doing it. How do you do one without the other? Well, I guess it depends on your intention. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. I feel like this is a double-edged sword for you. You're going to be damned if you do, and you're going to be damned if you don't. So what do? Do you go left and 3/4, or maybe not quite? It's like a Dr. Seuss a page in a Dr. Seuss book. Transforms men with dignities, finds favor with friends and foes. This was in reverse. Teaches astrology the virtues of the stars and the houses of the planets, and how to understand them. I think the cycle has been in previous renditions of this whole energy playing out. It looks like your ancestors threw someone under the bus instead of offering them the dignities of healing from their trauma. So for example, let's say someone comes and steals from your great-great-uncle Louis, and he turns around, and this is back in the day where you're allowed to chop someone's head off, so he does, and he sticks it on a pike outside his house. What he didn't know was that that little boy had been starving for 3 months, and he had already asked him if he could have food, and he denied him because he thought he was just a tramp. Now that energy could carry down through generations, and you're going to keep getting opportunities to learn where someone's coming from and why they're taking from you, whether it's your peace or your happiness or your finances or your love. Find out why they're doing it and restore the dignity. Find favor with your friends and your foes. Offer favor to your friends and your foes. This is scary and dangerous work. You should be very careful with how you proceed. You have choices to make. This is an entertainment channel. All I'm doing is showing you a movie and you get to decide what you want to do with it. You could say, that movie's not for me, I don't want to deal with it this lifetime. Okay, don't. You could say, you know what, that movie is playing out right now. What do I do? Or you could say, I don't want to, it's too hard. I want a different story. I think we've all been there at least once, right? It's too hard. Can I have a different story? Can I have a different math problem? Can I not do calculus? I don't want to repeat statistics. Whoa. 5 of Wands. Teaches languages, causes earthquakes, overthrows politicians or clergymen, returns those who have run away. Now, just because you're acknowledging that someone else is experiencing pain doesn't mean you're going to let them get away with it. Right? I'm not going to let you continually hurt me or steal from me or cheat on me or do whatever. This cycle ends now. I understand where you're coming from and I appreciate your pain. I experience pain too, especially when you do this. So I'm going to cut off the relationship. I'm not going to reward you by talking shit about you. And I'm also not going to reward you by allowing you to keep doing it. I'm going to give you no contact, no communication, no excuse to pull any energy from me. It's over. Now you have an opportunity to change yourself this lifetime. Maybe that kid that was running around stealing from people that didn't eat for 3 months, and it's because he ran away from his fucking parents. And he was a smart ass and a spoiled little selfish bitch of a boy or a girl. You know? But why was he like that? Maybe his parents were abusing him and he was acting out. Maybe they were starving him and he was acting out. So maybe understanding the problem is, hey, I understand you're starving. Why are you starving? What the fuck's going on? Then you find out what's going on and say, okay, well, I'm not going to let you get away with it because you still fucking stole from me. You got to clean the dishes in the back for a while or, you know, clean the pig pens or whatever. But when you work off, you know, your work, I'll continue to feed you if you want to continue to stay and work. Let people work it off and then allow them an opportunity to maintain an energy with you, but in a healing way. Right? There's a card in reverse in here. There's 2 cards in reverse. Justice and the Sun. The Sun is right side up, makes one rich, smart, and well-spoken, gathers spirit at tombs and changes the place of the dead. This kind of reminds me of what we were talking about. You know, like heads and body parts coming back in places they shouldn't. Makes one rich and smart and well-spoken, gathers spirits at tombs and changes the places of the dead. So, you know, take this opportunity and this challenge that your ancestors have brought you and learn how to vanquish your demon, or 2 or 3. Learn how to vanquish them by transforming the energy from lack of understanding and putting the smack down before you know what's going on. Transforming that into, I'm going to take time to understand why the fuck you just fucked me over. And then I'm going to keep you at arm's distance, or I'm going to make you go through a series of amends. You cheated on me multiple times, and yet you want to stick around and hang out? You want to make amends? You could do all the chores. You could do all the trash. You could pay all the bills for X amount of time, because this is what you've cost me. You can go to counseling. You can do all these things and work it off. And if you want to stay, then you can continue to do those things and we can go to the next level. Or you can say, I don't want to play anymore. Enough is enough. You're out. I bless you. Away from me. I no longer need this demonic energy fueling my space. I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to do anything to you. I just don't want anything to do with you. I bless you. Away from me. I'm not strong enough to keep you around. I'm not strong enough to allow you the opportunity to make amends. So you are not afforded that opportunity because y'all done fucked up big with me. And I need to say no more. So you're out. And then we've got justice in reverse. Tells how the angels fell, reveals the past, present, and future, teaches the liberal science. Now this is in reverse. A lot of cards talking about educating and teaching. There's something that's not being revealed here. You're not being told how or why they fell from grace. You're not in a position of strength because you don't understand. Like, for example, the generic version of, someone cheated on me, right? You're not educating yourself on the situation in terms of, where is this coming from? What's going on here? There might be something deeper in the situation that you're not aware of. There might be a trauma drama that they've experienced that has led them to do the things they're doing. Steal from you, lie to you, cheat on you, whatever. You're not feeling like there's justice. But it's because you need to be able to practice putting yourself in their shoes. The golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. And I add a caveat. Treat others the way you want to be treated if you were in their shoes. How would it feel if you were feeling what they're feeling? Maybe they're addicted to drugs and they're stealing from you all the time. You're like, dude, I've just had enough, I feel like you're cheating me out of a great relationship with you because you can't get your shit under control. Now, I don't want to name and shame you for your problem because it's painful, I'm sure. But is there a way that we can look at this and you stop doing this? Otherwise, I'm going to have to take a break from you. I love you dearly. I bless you away from me right now. Figure it out. Either decide to die or decide to live, but either way, I don't want you stealing from me. You can ask me for things, but you cannot steal from me anymore. And I'm not going to let you in my space to do it again until you've gotten your shit together. That's enough of that. Gives an account of souls that died in sin. Stop holding on to what they did to you. You gotta let it go. You gotta forgive. I'm not saying let them do it again. I'm saying let it go. It happened. If I held on to all the stupid fucked up shit people did to me on a regular basis, if I even acknowledged 80% of it, I would never get anything done. There are so many hurt people out here hurting people. It's just absolutely bonkers. And if I want to hold on to a grudge, if I do that, do you know how much energy that takes from me? That I could be putting into something else, like doing a reading for you, or helping my son with, learning how to walk and minding his balance. There's a million other things I could do with my time. There's a million other things you can do with your time. Because you're a healer and you've got things to do. So practice healing yourself on this one. You're going to have to learn. Their sin and their fall from grace is because they have their own demons and angels and ancestors that they are listening to or not listening to. And that's on them. Don't squeeze the butterfly. Open your hand and say, look, the relationship is yours to have or not have. These are my boundaries. Respect them or leave, please. Thank you. I love you. Bless you away from me. I can't tolerate this anymore. I bless you away from me. Or you can just continue to let them do it and ignore it. Or you can continue to let them do it and get upset about it, and all it does is distract you and throw you back into this loop that you could actually break. This is going to be hard work. I know it is because I've done it. Steals or fetches anything requested, including money and horses. Reveals secret things. Brings questionable familiars. Yeah, this person is doing some fucked up shit. But you also know that there's a lot of good from this person too. It's like, dude, there's all this untapped potential with you. What the fuck are you doing with yourself? Why are you hurting me when I'm trying to help you? You know? It's like trying to help a dog that's like emaciated. Emaciated? Is that where you're starving? You know, where they're so thin you can see all their bones? And it tries to bite you because you're trying to feed it? Sometimes those dogs have rabies though and they can't control it. You gotta step away. You gotta get away from it. Because then it's gonna bite you and then you're gonna have rabies. Negative energy is catching. Right? I hope this helped you. After this reading, people might not want me to do astrological readings because I don't do them like everybody else. But I can't. That's not my calling. My calling is to help us clear and heal. Boss up, glow up, brighten up the world. That's my goal. We're bossing up, we're glowing up, we're brightening up the world. We're bossing up, we're glowing up, we're brightening up the world. We're bossing up, we're glowing up, we're brightening up the world. And that requires work, my friends. Work internally on our souls, you know? Anyway, answers questions about the past, present, and future, gives dignities, grants the favor of friends and foes, faithful servant. Be honest, offer dignity to people, dignity and grace, and help those that are good to you, and even help your enemies, because that will make you a faithful servant to the Most High. Don't help your foes be pricks. Help your foes in terms of, I'm not going to let you behave this way anymore around me. I'm cutting you off. That's helping your foe, because it's helping them, it's giving them the pattern interrupt that they need to realize this doesn't work anymore. It's not working anymore. I need to stop doing this. Okay? And how do you help your friends? Well, your friends have been hooking you up. It's time for you to hook them up in whatever way you can. Maybe it's just a phone call. Maybe it's sending them a letter in the mail. Maybe it's a really lovely post about them. Maybe you get them a gift card for dinner somewhere because you just want to say thank you for all the work they've put in to helping you through something. Or get their nails done. My sister used to do that for me when I was watching her kids, and that's one of the most appreciative things I've ever, really lovely. Thank you. Or my best friend Kara got my nails done when I was her maid of honor. How lovely. That was my gift from her. And my gift to her during her wedding, I was out there with a broom at the end of the night, sweeping up that place, making sure it looked spotless so that she didn't get charged anything on her deposit for the wedding. I gave her a gift card for dinner for her and her husband, because I know they don't get out much. They got a kid. Who gets out much when you have a kid? Unless you take your kid with you, I gave her a bunch of products from the line, from the Boss Blessings line, to give to those that, were helping her, or for her to use herself if she wanted. Made her a bunch of stuff. So, when your friends give to you, give to your friends. Make it a point to just delight one another with your friendship. The Chariot. Okay, this card goes out to Kareem Spirit Works. I don't know if he's watching this, but if he is and he got this far, this goes out to you, sir. He was talking about the Chariot in a previous reading. Look at this. This guy is chopping off his own head. The Chariot. Sower of discord, slayer of men. He slays so many men, he slays himself. That's wild. Well, Kareem Spirit Works was talking about the Chariot card and how it doesn't always just mean movement. It means thoughtful movement. It means the thought before the movement. It means thinking it through before you go and do something. There's something that's about to happen or could happen. You need to think about this. You need to slow it right down. You need to stop the cart. You need to stop the chariot. And you need to just take a break real quick and think about this before you go forward. That way you can go forward confidently. Always think your decisions through so that you don't go cutting off your own head. Right? To spite your karmic. I'm going to chop off my head because you're hurting me. It's like, what? No. Don't do this to yourself. This is that energy attached to your ancestors that you need none of. You don't need any of this. Stop and think first before you chop your own head off. Take a breather. This is an owl. with angel wings. You're so wise. You're angelic. But the human aspect of you, the primal aspect of you, the reactionary aspect of you, will take you down if you're not careful and if you don't think about it. Okay, I gotta go. My phone's ringing. I hope that helped. I love you. You got this.